What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Okay, today's the day. I think. Maybe. Most likely not. So I am gonna go ahead. I already jacked the car up. As you can see, look how low it is when I have the front end jacked up. Like, I wish I could have that fitment like all the time. So I got a speed sensor today from one of my friends. It's the last part that I need before I can fill my motor up with transmission fluid. Okay, that is enough rambling from me. I am gonna go ahead and crawl under the car now. So what I'm doing now is the speed sensor. This guy spins in the transmission, and I'm gonna go install that right now. Again, it's under the car, so I can't really show you guys. It's super simple. You basically, there's a hole and you slide her in just like that, and then this fits here. Bolt goes in the bottom. Hopefully this plugs in and everything goes fine and dandy. This is the part that I had to pick up. So I'm gonna go ahead and climb back under the car, and then once I come back out, I'll update you and tell you if everything went right. Okay, so I figured out the speed sensor, and now we are going to wire up the IAT. And sorry, there's a bunch of people doing random stuff in the background. I'll show after. But Kyle is going to wire up the IAT for me. He figured out the signal and ground, was it?
I think so.
Yeah.
We
think we figured it out. So Kyle's doing this right now. I'll just get a little recordy cord of him doing it. All right, Reese keeps dancing. I feel like he's gonna do it until I bring the camera over. So. For real, bro? For real. Sponsored by For Real. Okay, so you met Reese in the Vancouver Auto Show video. This is actually the same day as that.
You're gonna drink that right.
You know Mihai, you know Madison, you know Jasmine, you know Harinder, you know Britney. Sam. Oh, you haven't met Sam. This is Kyle's girlfriend and Britney's cousin. Reese just dances a lot, like all the time, but he's actually pretty good at it. Alright, I changed my mind. You're not very good at it. What's up?
How you doing?
Doing good. Doing good. Yeah. Full cord. We gonna zoom in. Yeah. Oh wait. Parts rock. Okay, so we got the IAT wired up and ready to go. So we're just gonna re-lume all of this. I'm gonna leave the connector on for now just to make sure that everything's fine. But that is ready to go, which means we're actually pretty much ready to go. So I just need to put my ECU in, and then I need to figure out the wiring in the bottom side, but that should be easy enough. So we're just gonna relume this right now, and then we will probably move on to the lower side, and then I might actually push the car out a bit so that it's easier to get to the ECU wiring, and then I might actually put my other wheel, the other two wheels that go with this set, on because I have lug nuts now. So yeah, we're gonna relume this and then move on. Okay, so we got the wiring sorted. So the IAT is wired. It goes into the original harness, which I then zip tied to the valve cover where the brackets are supposed to be. And then I ran this over, which is the power steering sensor. The old MAF pigtail is just wired in there just in case. Zip tied it to this bracket that I have, and then that, so it's all nice and out of the way. Okay, so now that all the wiring and stuff's done, I'm gonna leave it for tonight, and I'm just gonna come back to it tomorrow and finish up then. So I'll see you in like a second. So right. So yeah, it is the next day for me, and I'm gonna install my fuel pressure regulator now, because with the injectors that I'm running, they're 740s instead of the stock like 310 or something around there in the threes. So I need to run the adjustable fuel pressure regulator so that I'm pushing enough fuel. The car already has a Walboro 255. I have a 340 LPH, which is liters per hour. So every hour it pumps out like 300, or it can pump out like 300 and something liters. So I'll be switching to that after, but for now I'm just gonna leave the Walboro in because I don't need anything more than what I already have. So I'm just gonna do that now, and then we're gonna install the ECU. Okay, so this is my fuel pressure regulator, the adjustable one. It's just an ISR one. So I haven't decided where I'm gonna mount this yet, so I'll probably just mount it after. But to start with this, we have to get this guy off right here. So this is the original fuel pressure regulator. Obviously it's non-adjustable, so we need to change that. So I'm just gonna pop that off right now. It's just 2 Phillips heads, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the new one on. So this is the new one. So this just goes on, then this runs to the fuel pressure regulator, and then the vacuum line that's on this, which comes from right down there, this guy. This runs to this instead of the end port. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on now. There we go. Alright, so these screws are quite rusty, which kind of sucks because the new one didn't come with screws, so I'm gonna have to reuse those, unfortunately. There we go. So then this guy should just pop right off. Should just pop right off. There we go. The old crusty boy is out. So this is what the stock one looks like. It has the vacuum line right here, vacuum port, sorry. So I'm just gonna install the new one, and then we'll finish up. So by tightening the screws, it pulls the O-ring into place, and there we go, just like that. Okay, so this guy's installed now, so what we do next is run the fuel line from this guy to here, which is our fuel in, and then we go fuel outlet to this hose right here. It goes past the fuel filter. This is the return line. The fuel filter hose doesn't get touched. So luckily, ISR's kit comes with extra fuel line. So I'm just gonna run it probably to around here, because I'm probably gonna mount it somewhere over here. And then this line I'll just cut as well and mount it onto the bottom here. Okay. Uno. So even if I mount it like there, still have some extra that I can always cut off after. Now it's this guy. So again, I'm going to cut it a little bit long. Okay, so I'm going to have to buy some clamps for this, but I'm probably going to mount it right around here. Just got to figure out how I'm going to do it first. So I think right about here will be good. I know it's kind of hard to see on camera. So I've basically set it up so I can mount it right about here. The fuel lines are both a bit too long, but I was just planning on for when I have to mount it. So I'll cut them down later once I mount it. And then the last thing we have to do is connect the vacuum line, which is super simple. Simple enough that I might even be able to do it with one hand, unless I need brake clean. Oh, I'm definitely gonna need brake clean. Wait, we can do this. This will be fun. Hold on. Grab the brake clean before it falls, and slide this guy. Come on! There we go. Look at that, one-handed too. So again, I can cut the vacuum line down as well, because that's way too long. So yeah, that is a fuel pressure regulator installed. So I just need to mount it. I'm probably gonna do that right now, just so it's less of a nuisance. Okay, so fuel pressure regulator is done. It is a little bit later now. I had to go pick up Brit. So gas line 1, gas line 2 is down there. Vacuum line is here. That is all good, fine and dandy. So now I'm gonna probably go under the car, and I'm going to do the transmission fluid. So I'm gonna crawl under the car. I'm gonna try and film it, see if I can. Obviously this transmission has 0 fluid in it. I bought 4 jugs of Redline MT90. It doesn't take 4, I just bought extra so I could do my diff as well. I might do that right now because it's pretty easy to do. So yeah, I'm just gonna crawl under there, and well, you know the usual. It'll probably be a time lapse. So yeah, I'm gonna crawl under there right now. Okay, so now that I'm under here, I have already like double checked to make sure that everything drained out and it is all gone. So behind me, I have this little setup here. So this is Redline MT90. Apparently it's the best to use in these transmissions, so I'm gonna use it. So up here somewhere, right here where my finger is, can't really see. Yeah, there we go, thanks Brett. So right here, there is another one of these style plugs where you just stick the end of a 1/2-inch ratchet or like extension. So you just stick that in there, you loosen it off, and then you just tighten it back up. So when you're filling transmission fluid, I'm actually gonna have to take my gloves off because you have to feel for like if it's level with the plug, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna probably sit this down, and if it looks cool, and I'll keep it in, and if it doesn't, we'll move on. Okay, so it's all topped up. So I stuck my finger in there, and it came out a little bit wet, like if I bent it the tiniest bit. So that means we're topped up enough. So I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this back in. Same thing, you just find the whole twister in, and once it gets down to it, so we're gonna put this on tighten this bad boy back up. Oh, that was a good catch. All right, transmission fluid. Dunzo. Okay, so one more thing I'm going to do before I put the ECU in. I am going to install my AFR gauge. I want to get this in so that I know if I'm running good AFRs with the base tune. Everything's wired up already. I did that a long time ago. Or, well, Damien did that a long time ago. So now I just have to put the O2 sensor in the down pipe in the second bung and then plug it into this guy. And put this obviously in my gauge holder. So I only have 2 gauges, but I have 3 vents because I do plan on getting a coolant temp sensor as well and stuff like that. So all the wiring is up in there. It's really nicely wired. So I'm just gonna plug it in now. I think I said I wanted to put AFR here, like in the far left one, and then boost in the middle so I could see it better because I want to see the boost. So I'm gonna try running the AFR through a grommet somewhere and then down to the downpipe, but I don't know if it's gonna work, so I might have to just run it through the transmission tunnel down here. So I'm going to do that right now, and hopefully I can find a spot that you guys will be able to see me working on this, but I can't guarantee anything. Oh, camera down. Okay, and just like that, it is cleaned up. So I just have the loom of wire right there. This is my stereo wiring for this guy, but the gauge is sitting in there, so now all I need to do is fix my boost gauge and put that in. But that'll probably be a separate video just in case anyone's been dumb like me and screwed it up. So okay, so we got a lot done today, so I actually think I'm gonna leave the ECU for another separate video because there is quite a lot that goes into it. So I also want to like save it for when I can explain it and it's not raining or getting dark or anything like that. So I'll probably just make it a separate video. We got like a decent amount of stuff done. We did the fuel pressure regulator, and I put on my other 2 wheels. So they are right there. You can't really see them, but they're there. So, and then we got the AFR gauge installed, fixed up did some final touches on some other stuff. I keep forgetting you can't see me like that. Did some final touches on it, and we're almost there. Oh, and we filled the transmission too. So it'll probably be ECU and startup, and then the next video will probably be first drive, and then stuff like that. Yeah, we'll figure it out as we go. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.